What's going on, guys? Michael Reynolds here from Godfather Smokers, and in today's video we're going to be doing mouth-watering bacon. So with today's recipe, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a nice big piece of pork belly. Now this is our Iron Mark Farms pork belly. This is very, very beautiful. Take a look at that. It's got some very nice marbling in there. Oh, I can't wait to cut into this and then show you how to do bacon. Now this is a very simple and very fun process how you can make bacon at home. So pretty much we've got our nice pork belly, some nice fat on the top, some nice marbling running through it. This is exactly what we're looking for when it comes to our pork belly. So we've got our water pan going. What we're going to do for now is we're going to grab a saucepan, chuck that on, put some heat in there. We'll open up this bottom vent just to allow the heat to permeate a bit more, get up to the top. Now we're putting just a cup of water in this. So to that cup of water, we're going to start piling up our spice mix. So this is going to give the bacon a lovely flavour and also give it a lovely colour as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some parsley. So everybody loves parsley, so we're going to chuck in a teaspoon of parsley. We're going to chuck in a teaspoon of some crushed chilies. A teaspoon of lemon pepper. A teaspoon of onion granules. And then we've got what we call our pink curing salt. So this is Insta-Cure. So this is what we want to use to cure our pork and turn it into bacon. So what we want to do is we want to add a tablespoon of our Insta-Cure. And then we've got some dried bay leaves, so we're just going to add a few of those. These will give it a little bit of flavour. So we just want to grab about 3 or 4 of these, snap them up, put them in. And then we've got some smoked paprika. So the smoked paprika, we're going to add a tablespoon of this. That will give it a nice smoky flavour, but also it's going to give it a very nice mahogany colour as well. So to that, we're going to add some honey. We want to add a tablespoon. Then we're going to open up our brown sugar. And we want to add half a cup of brown sugar. So now that we've added our brown sugar in there, what we're going to do is we're going to allow this mixture, this beautiful mixture, to start reducing down. So what we can do with that curing salt, we want to make sure that that curing salt actually starts to dissolve. So when we're looking at it, we want it to be a thin consistency. Most people don't realise that the reason we're having it like this is because we can't put the mixture hot over the top of the bacon. So what we're going to do is we want to make sure that with the bacon, or with this beautiful pork belly, that it goes on cold, because otherwise it's going to start cooking our pork belly, and that's not what we want. So we've got ourselves a plastic container. So now that this is reduced down and the salt's cooked out, what we're going to do is we're going to pour this lovely mixture into our pan, or into our plastic container. We're going to add some more water. So we just want enough to fill it up for, so it covers that beautiful pork belly. So I'd use 1.25 litres to cover the whole thing. So we just want to just give that a little bit of a stir through. Okay, so now that we've given that a stir through, grab our lovely pork belly and put that straight into our mixture. So this is a brine mixture, so we want to make sure that this is fully submerged. And then we just want to pop the lid on this. So what we're going to do is every day for the next 7 days, we're going to flip this over. Flip it over. Flip it over. Keep flipping it. We want to make sure that this brine mixture penetrates right inside there and that nothing sediments on top. So what we're going to do is this is going to pop inside the fridge. And we're going to make sure that we flip this over every single day so that we impart all that beautiful flavour. So if we need to, so if you find that putting it in this container, it starts to float up, grab something heavy to pop on top so that we can make sure that it's fully submerged, because the cure is not going to work unless it's submerged in that liquid. Okay, so we're at day 1 with the bacon. So we're going to grab our beautiful pork belly, turn it over, let all these flavours marinate, and this is what's going to turn it into bacon. So we're going to place this back into the fridge now and repeat the process for the next 5 days. So we've had our brine solution with our pork belly in it. We've had this soaking in here for 7 days now, and every single day we've actually been taking it out of the solution, flipping it over and putting it back in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to rinse this under water, and we're going to remove all the saltiness and the brine solution off of the pork belly. So just going to give this a quick rinse. Beautiful. Then we're going to sit this back down and we're going to pat this dry with our paper towel. So we've got just a couple of sheets of paper towel here, so we're just going to give this a bit of a dry. Pat it down. Remove as much moisture as we possibly can. That's it. So as you can see, we've got a beautiful colour now. It's a nice browny colour. That's the colour that we're after. So now we're going to put this on our smoker, and we're going to let this smoke now. Generally, when it comes to smoking a pork belly and getting it ready for bacon, what we want to do is we want to smoke it for around about 3 hours at 150 degrees. Now we want, that's in Fahrenheit, so it's around about 75 degrees Celsius. So what we want to achieve really isn't the time that we want to cook it for, but we want to achieve an internal temperature of 65 degrees. So once we've reached that internal temperature, then our bacon is ready to take off. Now, when it comes to smoking it as bacon, we don't want to cook it all the way through. It's basically just cooking it on the outside, because when we cook it for bacon, in our frying pans and stuff, that generally cooks it the rest, so we don't want it to dry out. So we've got our smoker set up, inside here we've got our water pan. Today we're going to be actually using charcoal as opposed to our barbecue briquettes because we want to get a different flavour profile onto our bacon. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab our pork belly. Beautiful. Put that straight in the middle. And then we're going to allow this to smoke. So like I said before, we're aiming for an internal temperature of 65 degrees, which is around about 150 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're not aiming for time, we're aiming for a temperature. So we're going to be checking this, providing we keep the smoker set to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to let this go for another hour and then come back and probe it and see what temperature we're sitting at, because we're only aiming for 65. So we're sitting at 53 degrees, so we need to let that continue to cook a little bit longer. It's not quite at 65 yet. Okay, so we've pulled the bacon off the smoker. We've had it in the fridge now for around about 2 hours. Now it's time to unwrap it and slice through it so you can see what we're dealing with. So we're just going to give this a thin slice, just so you can get an indication as to what it looks like. And there we have it, our beautiful bacon. Thanks for watching my video. If you'd like to hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you don't miss a thing when it comes to my videos, and you'll see me smoking next time.